So we shall take the next one. It comes as Vasur Vasumana Satya Samatma Sammithas Sama Amogha Pundari Kaksho Vrishakarma Vrishakritihi. Samatma, the self available evenly in all objects, is called Samatma. Yama answered to one of the questions of Nachiketa thus: Supreme Being who is Satya Swarupa is shining in all beings equally. In the Kshetrajna Vaibhoga Yoga of Gita, chapter 13, shloka number 3, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, know me as the Kshetrajna in all the Kshetras. Kshetram chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. So I'll take the next one. Sammitha, one who cannot be limited by anything. Everybody agrees that the Lord pervades all beings in the form of awareness, but the boundaries and limitations of those beings do not limit awareness in any way. Awareness cannot be limited by any entity that it pervades. Besides, his existence is acceptable to one and all. Sama, or one who is unperturbed at all time. Sama means maintaining equality. Ajnani is one who is always supremely self-controlled. Samatyam yoga uchyate. Equanimity is called yoga, is said in Gita chapter 2, verse 48. His mind is always tranquil. The Lord is a perfect jnani. Lord Vishnu is the consort of Lakshmi Devi. Her normal place of residence is his chest. The Lord cannot be separated from her. He always remains united with Lakshmi Devi. For this reason too, Sa means with, Ma is Lakshmi. He is Sama. We'll come back to the first one, or rather the first one today, which is Samatma. Friends, in our earlier steady gathering, we took appreciation of the name Vasu and its expansiveness to Vasudeva Kutumbakam, meaning the capacity to feel one with the diversity in our society. Today, we will attempt to understand the same concept of universality with a critical look by posing a question of what if such Vasu or innate universal force were not there, of what benefit it really is to humanity. We explore today that concept of universal force with the name Samatma, a force present in equal quantity in everything. Now, where else have we heard such an articulation? Yes, you are right. It comes in the Narasimha Avatara of the story of Prahlada and his kingly father Hiranyakashipu. In our previous presentation, we briefly touched upon the time-space concept that are called upon during the Sankalpa performed during Orthodox rituals. The time there was the 51st year of Brahma, and the space in some form was Bharatavarshe, and their ideas were also shared around Kraunja. Such similar, I am told, is also the Hiranyavarsha as a geographical mapping. Bharatavarsha is assumed to be that mass of people and the lands that is governed by the laws and the cultures of King Bharata. Such similar can be assumed to be of Hiranyavarsha, where the laws and the cultures of that land influence the collective spirits of its citizens. Now, the laws of a land can change. However, its culture is not easy to change. So, what is culture? What is this not easy to change dimension of a human society? Culture means the total accumulation of material objects, ideas, symbols, beliefs, sentiments, values, and social forms which are passed on in a given society from one generation to another, and that generation to another, and so on and so forth. So, culture folds in it the physical chapters, which is the outer, as well as the mental chapters, which is inner. The argument presented in that story, the story of Hiranyakashipu and Prahlada, is a conviction of Hiranyaksha, the governing leader of the people, a conviction that leader carried that man is to be seen as the center of the universe. Human excellence is primary and nothing lay beyond human endurance. If there is any superpower in the universe, that has to be man himself. Man is God himself and no other. Therefore, I am God. This conviction is provoked by his very own son, Prahlada, where he puts a claim that there is a higher force, and such a higher force is present in everything. The Samatma concept we are studying here today, and that all things, living and non living, is subject of that force. Everything that is living and non living is a subject of that force and not a charm of its own doing. So here we have two cultures colliding in the very same household. Let us enjoy this story a little closer today by recognizing the name Narasimha of the Lord. Let's watch this video. Oh, that was fun, wasn't it? So, if we take this colliding cultures and take a critical view and make attempts to understand it and desire to arrive at a judgment or conclusion, we have to start by asking one important question. What is the concept of man in that culture? I'll repeat that again. For measuring a culture, the central question has to be, what is the concept of man in that culture? We, in our study circle, have so far stitched most of our assimilation around the four Purusharthas, the four human purpose of Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. The four dimensions on which the human life has to persevere. Persevere by not ignoring any of it. Now, while each society made progress on those dimensions, the Indian Vedic society acquired its appetite of the physical sciences, which was the outer. Now, having established the satisfaction of the physical sciences, it enrolled itself in the pursuit of the other fold of human excellence, the mental chapters. The Vedic era went deep in its quest of human excellence and delivered to humanity both on its range and its depth like no other. Those depth studies rolled out the texts of Vedanta, Upanishads, and further the Puranas, and then the epics like the Mahabharata. From those depths arose the realization of a uniqueness in man, the presence of an inner guiding force, a force that is no different to the very force that operated the universe. Thereupon they arrived that Brahman was Atman. Brahman, the force there that is operating the universe, is the Atman, the force here that is within every human. The immense capacity that exists there is the immense capacity that has to be recognized within man. Thereupon they formulated that man, in his human quest or human purpose or Purushartha, has to master all the four dimensions, encompassing both the external, physical, as well as the internal, the mental or spiritual. Such similar attitudes can be measured in modern day science as averred by Einstein, where he says, "Science without religion is lame, and religion without science is blind." Science without religion is lame, and religion without science is blind. Or, in other words, if you master only the physical sciences, you are doomed. And if you master only the inner sciences too, you are doomed. You have to strive to master them all in your capacity. Friends, as a collective commons, we should be proud of the access we all have to such very rich culture. A culture that is rich with ideas, ideas that are uplifting, are expansive in its inclusivity, while at the same time advocates for individual freedom and liberty. These universal thoughts and ideas has infused this culture with the strength and direction to endure the test of time. This Buddha recognized as Yesha Dharma Sanatana. Yesha Dharma Sanatana. This Dharma or outlook is eternal. This Dharma or the outlook is eternal. An outlook that said, be economically prosperous, have a good collection of desires and dreams, make room for others and their ideas, achieve that spiritual fulfillment or a deep sense of freedom. Recognizing the presence of that inner force in each of us, a force that can unfold immense human possibilities, is what we recognize in the name Samatma, which we also recognize and celebrate in the Shanti mantra when we conclude our prayers of Purnamada Purnamidam. So with this we conclude our understanding and appreciation of the name Samatma. Thank you.